Hey guys, Philosophy JKD back here once again with some authentically me One Piece material. Um, Very interesting things happening in One Piece, but in the real world, double gangering what's happening in One Piece right now, which is crazy because um, I think I might want to start a new segment, like maybe something really short every day, maybe like One Piece, big news, Morgan's daily updates, or a big news eschatology update. Um, um, so basically, a month ago on this channel, I talked about a whistleblower, but in the previous videos, I said, look, man, we're gonna have to be able to open our minds like we do and not necessarily suspend reality, but open our mind to the fact that some people have been trying to let us know what's been going on historically around the world and is the trajectory for what will happen in the future for a very long time. Entertainment is not always, just, make believe. We have a druidic system here where karmatically people can get away from karma if they let you know what's going on, even if it's not exactly the same. That's why parallel constructions, whether in writing, but and also information dumps, are very important. Sometimes because the attack on the freedom of speech, people have to say things a certain kind of way to get away from the reality of the repercussions of the powerful trying to suppress the will of the people. Therefore, we have to find a new route. Like some said, you mix this song differently, you hear me call names out. Okay. In the last video, I went through the book of Judas Didymus Thomas, right? When we saw the celestial dragon bite or the snake bite venom in action. Okay. So in previous videos, I talked about something that recently popped up in the news. Okay. But it's not very well known even still, even though I mentioned it about a month ago, a little over it now. I talked about a whistleblower briefly. I mentioned his name, Eric Hecker, who was working in Antarctica. Oddly enough, the general population is not allowed to go to Antarctica. I wonder why. You know, why can't most people go to Murray Joe's pub above the red line where the celestial dragons are? Because they may see things that they may not be able to handle. Why can't people go to Area 51? You know, why do we have to have whistleblowers like uh, Bob Lazar working Area 50 to come out and talk about some of the stuff he worked on? So Eric Hecker working, they when you work at some of these sites, they have you dovetail in multiple positions, even though they want to compartmentalize you. If you're doing a remedial job, you never get the full picture. And that if a group does not get the full picture, they don't see the true direction of whatever's going on. So while in Antarctica, Eric Hecker was talking about how he was tasked to repair, but he's also dovetailing as a fireman there. So two positions. Where it was actually talking about a UFO shoot down system that is using scalar technology but can also cause earthquakes. Look at the earthquakes in Turkey. Well, now look at the political alignment in Turkey opposed to our allies in the Middle East, being Israel and the United States. Coincidence? Think of the mother flame in One Piece. The mother flame. Emu likes the mother flame. Emu wants to use the mother flame more. Well, Israel just revealed a new weapon called the Karen Basil, or better known as the IRON beam. It works exactly how I told you the neutrino ice cube light detector works in Antarctica. Okay? So people have been trying to tell you stuff, and it's an iron beam because it's basically like a laser pointer. Okay? If it detects you and points at you, you're already shot because it's not using normal physics that we would understand. Therefore, we can aim the neutrino light detector at objects in our lower Earth orbit or further out into space, and shoot them down instantaneously. So that's what we're seeing now. In eschatology, in terms of eschatology perspective, you go to Revelations and they said they saw the dragon who had all the powers of the first beast, who had power to create great signs and wonders and to make fire rain from heaven. This is technology here. Think about the thousands and thousands of technology we have in space, how it's created an artificial rain, which is very interesting because if we ever could leave the planet, it would create a debris field that would take many, many years to even navigate to get the space junk out the way. And we started seeing space wars now, just like in One Piece. I'm not sorry. Enel went into outer space to the watchtower of the moon and saw this technology there that he could sync up to and use. Very interesting. So now we're seeing that some of the stuff I'm telling you is true, but also there are things other people have been putting out. It's basically the politics to it are very interesting. Are, it's not the politics of governments that we understand. Okay. There's different systems for different things. So now we're dealing with exopolitics, but not just exopolitics being outside of our planet, but we're also dealing with politics intersecting and juxtaposing one another in powers to basically create the atmosphere in which this project, being life on Earth, um, will be directed or shifted to. Take it or let it alone. But so I think I like to call this a Big News Morgan's daily update. So now we're seeing the technology right here. We're seeing the mother flame. I think we learned about the mother flame about a little bit before or after I talked about the neutrino light detector system, how it can make earthquakes, cause tidal waves in terms of tsunamis, typhoons. It's a different technology that actually links up to technology from Nikola Tesla. But if you go back into text, it's actually older technology. Go to the Old Testament with Nimrod and him trying to build the Tower of Babel. And we go into Jewish writings to give you even more detail that when he tried building that tower, the people up above us, above our planet, rolling on the red line, like in One Piece, the celestial dragons, shot a laser beam at the guy and took him out. Some people talk about the potential for a test, a cataclysm in Hawaii, and some people seeing a laser beam, but they thought it was. But lasers, if we use normal laser beam technology, we have an ozone layer that would massively decrease that. So some people thought it was microwaves because they didn't know any other technology. The neutrino ice cube light detector. It's a different type of technology. Wherein I even said in One Piece, what we're seeing with the mother flame or mother frame is moving faster than what we would perceive possible based on our physics, where we say nothing can accelerate to the speed of light because of our frames, of our physics. But we're now entering into dark Air Force technologies. Dark Air Force, okay? Black technologies, not as a color, but things that would not be thought possible to most physicists. Spooky movement, okay? So I just wanted to leave this out there, put this in your ear. So what we're seeing in the news right now is double ganger with what we're seeing in One Piece. In fact, time does not flow linearly. We some people believe it does, but time is non-linear, and it's something that can be observed from outside the particular trajectory of time that you have. In fact, consider your dreams. Consider recalling your dreams and how you recall them out of order and sequence. And when you lucid dream, for example, when I lucid dream, I can do all types of things, you know? And so, for example, you go in older texts and you go into the Bible and the Quran, they talk about gaining an eternal body as a gift. I'm here to tell you there's more gift than just attaining an immortal body. I'm not even saying that's the beginning level. It's not. There's people that have gifts. There's people that awaken those gifts. There's more gifts than that in heaven. The eye hasn't seen and the ear hasn't heard, you know? So, philosophy here, guys. Just want to put this out there as a news report, a big news Morgan. I'm going to have these, not every day, but I'm going to think of something that could be really short and it could kind of put people that would not necessarily listen to the news or not really be knowledgeable about what's actually going on, how the world actually works around us, and the powers to be and the powers that were. And we're having a conflict now because there's two very powerful forces in the universe. And I'm not just talking about law of one. I'm talking about concept, okay, spiritual concept. An idea, okay, whose time has come is the most powerful force in the universe. Or as I said in the last video, the bubbling changing of the times. However, the next strongest force in the physical world is an idea who does not want to go away. Therefore, we're going through the fourth industrial revolution wherein we've had whistleblowers come out and say, hey, we can make gold, we can get free water, we can pull water out of the air. And you're seeing some of these technologies now, but imagine what will happen to the gold standard and why Nixon got us off of it, knowing some of that information, knowing that information truly. But imagine how the gold standard, we got off the gold standard as a monetary base for our fiat currency. Think about if everyone knew that we can make gold like that in different programs. Some of you may know people that have been able to create gold, but people had to come out before that and put their skin in the game and say, hey, I know how to make gold. I'm teaching people how to make gold. I'm decompartmentalizing it, but my life's in danger letting you guys know this information. So that's where we are. We can make new elements. We do it all the time. We can make basically anything. So what happens to our monetary value? If people know we have a massive amount of abundance and we're living in artificial scarcity, think about how free that will make us. Free from the lower Pavlovian, free from the lower survival mechanisms of like Maslow hierarchy of needs. And we automatically elevate our consciousness. And the powers that be can't control population that aren't worried about low level things that they can tinker with. You know, when I was young, I was naive. I thought, man, ending world hunger would be great. I don't see how it's possible. Look, man, plant a tree. Everybody gets a government chicken. A chicken lays an egg every day. We eat too much in America. 3 meals a day. You don't have to eat 3 meals a day, but still, even if you wanted to, with the resources that we have, America used to feed the entire world. The United States used to feed the entire world. The reality is we have the ability to feed ourselves, and the other countries have the ability to feed themselves. They're being deprived of the land resources and being given artificial scarcity. Farmers paid not to produce the food that they could, okay, claiming that it would hurt the soil, but at the same time, powerful organizations putting out genetically modified GMO, okay, crops that kill the soil for decades. That's what we're dealing with. Look into what Monsanto has done. Okay, same thing happened in Afghanistan. Okay, so let me guys drop some comments because we're really in the jump off point here. We're living in the best of times, but it's also the worst of times. Okay. All right, guys. Philosophy signing out.